Welcome to my What I Ate Vegan in Spain during our almost 2-week vacation here. My name is Kira if you're new here, and I'm so excited to share all this delicious vegan food with you guys, and hopefully it will give you some tips for your next trip to Spain. The first place that we stopped at was this all-vegan cafe and bar called Oveja Negra, and we got these 2 delicious burgers. One was actually like a fake meat patty, and one was like a homemade soy patty. And they were both so good. Also, we had a coffee and a beer, and they were very delicious. Definitely would recommend going to this place. The next day, because we got in pretty late, we ended up going to this cafe called Coffee Space for coffee and breakfast. And we ended up getting the tomato tostada, I think it's called. It's like a classic Spanish dish where it's basically like pureed tomato on toast with like olive oil and basil. And it was super simple. It was only €4 for these 2 pieces, and they were so good, honestly. Like, I really enjoyed it. And my boyfriend got the avocado toast. Again, simple but delicious. Then after a day of exploring the museum, we were really tired, and also we were still working at night now here in Europe. So we decided to just order this vegan pizza from an all-vegan restaurant that was right outside of our Airbnb. And I've never had corn on pizza before, but it was actually really good. And this pizza was only €16 and it was massive. The next day we found this all vegan breakfast / brunch place. And oh my God, this was by far the best meal of the trip. It was amazing. It's called Frutas Prohibidas. And I would honestly move to Madrid just for this Eggs Benedict. It was so good. We both opted for the classic Eggs Benedict, although they do have more options. And they actually create this egg in their lab themselves. It's crazy. It looks and tastes exactly like an egg, and it's made from potatoes and like other spices. But yeah, 10 out of 10, it was amazing. Then we were actually meeting his nephew for the day, and we ended up going for some gelato that afternoon. This place right outside of the Soul Square there, you can kind of tell from the front. They had some vegan options and they were so delicious. Now, because we were staying in an Airbnb, we wanted to have some groceries with us, especially because we were still working in the evening. So we wanted to be able to like make some quick dinners at home. And we ended up going to the Carrefour market and found some really great options. We found some vegan croquettes, vegan chorizo, bread, vegan cheese, vegan yogurt, and some fruit and chips and drinks and everything, all for only €32. So for dinner that night, we had a big day exploring with his nephew. So we just wanted to do something easy at home, and we ended up just making these like toasted grilled cheese smoked tofu sandwiches. And they were so good, honestly. I love just making a quick, easy dinner. Today, I believe, was Thursday, and we had a really big travel day today because we were actually flying to Marrakech for 6 days. So we wanted to make a nice filling breakfast at home and use up the rest of our groceries. So we ended up doing the Spanish tortilla, the croquettes, and some vegan chorizo with some toast. And of course, everything vegan. And it was just the perfect start to a really long travel day. I will be also making a vegan what we ate in Marrakech video, so make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell so that you know when I upload my next videos. It will probably be the next upload I do, so definitely stay tuned for that. And then when we came back from Marrakech 6 days later, we weren't able to stay in Madrid again because it was getting so expensive for summer. But we ended up finding a really nice apartment in Toledo. So on our way from the airport, we went to the train station. And then from the train station, we had a few hours to wait. So we ended up going to this same coffee space cafe that we went to earlier. And we ended up getting 2 coffees and the acai bowl. So if you are in the area and you need to catch a train, definitely go check out this cafe in the meantime. Then the afternoon we took the train to Toledo, and oh my gosh, I've been to Toledo before back in I think like 2018, and I forgot just how beautiful it was. It literally looks like a fairy tale. And again, we were really tired from our day of traveling. We left Marrakech that day at 3 in the morning and we ended up in Toledo at like 4 p.m. and we needed to start working right away. So we just went to the store and picked up a couple of things, just this Wera chicken and some veggies, so we could have a really quick, easy dinner at home. And our apartment was so cute, honestly, with this beautiful view of Toledo. So it was like our perfect first night there. And of course, if you know me, I love desserts and I really had to try something from Toledo that day. So we ended up going to this all-vegan restaurant and I got a dessert to go. This is their tiramisu. And wow, it was so like creamy, and cacao was so fresh, and it was just so amazing. The next morning, we went on a big exploration day. Again, we have to start our days with some delicious Spanish coffee. We found this little hole-in-the-wall place that led down to this alley with this beautiful view of Toledo. I think this is probably one of the most beautiful spots I've ever had coffee before. If you've never been to Toledo before or you don't know where it is, it's just half an hour by train south of Madrid. And it's actually one of the oldest towns in Spain, probably of Europe, to be honest, because it's over 2,000 years old. We went to this monastery and we were looking at things that were from like 500 AD. And yeah, it was just insane. They also have this beautiful cathedral, probably one of the biggest cathedrals in Spain. And it was just so stunning. We walked around there for I think like 2 hours. And then before work, we stopped at the all-vegan restaurant in Toledo called Street and Soul. And we tried their vegan burger and the Thai ramen. I really would definitely recommend this place. It's the only all-vegan restaurant in Toledo. Of course, we had to try another dessert from there because there were so many options and we only had limited days here. So we ended up trying the Ferrero Rocher and it was out of this world. Literally 20 out of 10, best dessert I ever had. The next morning, we took a nice little adventure around the other side of Toledo, and to get there, we kind of took this really beautiful nature path down by the water. And I'm so glad we did, because as you're walking down this path, you just get these beautiful views of the water, and then you walk right up like underneath all these castles, and it's just so beautiful. We ended up going to the El Greco Museum, which we've already seen a lot of his work in the other museums in Madrid we went to, but this one was really cool because it was actually his house that he lived in back in Toledo. So that's his house there where he has a lot of his work, and then they also have the outdoor gardens. For lunch, we ended up stopping for some vegan paella at this little terrace, just kind of in the middle of town somewhere. I forget the name honestly, but they were one of the only places where I could find a vegetarian paella. And it was good. Honestly, it was nothing to write home about, but I'm glad that we got it because it's obviously very traditional Spanish food. The next day, we went into Madrid for the day to once again visit my boyfriend's nephew and his family who live there. So we had to, of course, stop at Frutas Prohibidas for a little breakfast, but we did have plans with them for lunch a few hours later, so we ended up just sharing one. And then for lunch with his family, we got this hot pot. And you're able to order 2 things. So obviously my boyfriend and I got the vegan hot pot. And then on the other side, they had like chicken or something. I'm not too sure, honestly. But you can order so many things. And then all you do is just like cook them in that little hot pot. So we had like vegan dumplings, tofu, potatoes, bok choy, mushrooms. And honestly, it was so amazing. I think it was my first hot pot I've ever been to, which is crazy. At night, we ended up going to see a flamenco show, which I'm so happy we did because they are just so powerful and so beautiful. And we went to this place called Centro Cultural Flamenco, which had a little bit more of like a smaller audience. I think there was about 40 people in the audience. And yeah, it was just so nice. I'm so happy we went to it. Definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend going to see a flamenco show if you're in Madrid or Spain. After the flamenco show, we wanted a little snack, so we ended up finding these vegan magnums. We kept seeing them all over the convenience store, so we knew we had to get one before we left. This flavor was blueberry cookie, and oh my god, it was insane. The outside chocolate part tasted exactly like cookie dough, and the inside was like blueberry with like cream, and it was so good. And on our way back to Toledo for the night, we wanted to pick up dinner in Madrid. We ended up passing a Dunkin' Donuts that had 4 vegan flavors of donuts. Of course, I love my dessert, so we really wanted a dessert for later, so we ended up picking up 2 of those. And then we also picked up a pizza from Domino's of all places, but we wanted to try just like a vegan kind of fast food option to see what it was like here. And it looks really good and it tasted even better. It was so cheesy. They even used the Violife cheese, which is one of my favorite vegan cheeses. And then they have their own like veggie pepperoni on there. For the donuts, we ended up getting one of the vegan Bavarian cream donuts, which if you're from Canada, this reminded me of like a Boston cream donut minus the chocolate on top. But it was so good and so creamy, and honestly, like I could not believe that this was vegan. And the other one that we got to try was the chocolate avena. I think it's avena, or it's basically chocolate hazelnut, and it tasted like a Ferrero Rocher. It was so good. Make sure to like and comment below if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet, as I'm uploading a new video every single week. And make sure you hit that bell notification so you know when I'm uploading. We had such an amazing trip. We are heading back to Mexico tomorrow morning early. So that was basically our last meal. Thanks so much for watching, guys.